spirituality is often misunderstood. For some, it means prayer and temples. For others, it's incense, mantras, and mysticism. For skeptics, it's empty superstition. And for scientists, it's often dismissed entirely. But what if spirituality didn't require belief in the supernatural? What if you could explore the nature of your mind, yourself, and consciousness without dogma? This is The Journey of Waking Up by Sam Harris. Neuroscientist, philosopher, meditation practitioner. Sam Harris walks a razor's edge, deeply skeptical of religion yet deeply committed to spiritual awakening. His message? You can experience transcendence without pretending to know things you don't. Let's explore the nature of self, the illusion of identity, the practice of attention, and what it really means to be awake. Chapter 1. The illusion of the self. From the moment you wake up in the morning, there's a voice narrating your life. I'm late. I should have said something different. They don't understand me. What will happen next? We take this voice to be me. But Harris argues the self is not what it seems. From both meditative experience and neuroscience, he suggests that the self, this sense of an observer behind the eyes, is an illusion. Your thoughts arise, but you don't choose them. They just appear. And yet, you identify with them as you. Pause and ask, what is the next thought I will think? Can I know it before it arrives? Where is this I that is supposedly in control? The more closely you look, the more it dissolves. And this isn't just philosophy. It's neuroscience. It's contemplative insight. It's the beginning of freedom. Because if the self is a mental construct, then suffering so often tied to that self can begin to unravel. Chapter 2. Consciousness and its contents. Harris makes a key distinction: consciousness vs. its contents. Consciousness is the open space in which thoughts, sensations, emotions arise. But we often mistake the content for the self. Think of a movie screen. Most of us live caught in the movie, identified with every scene, every character, every emotion. But consciousness is the screen itself, always present, even as the scenes change. Harris challenges us to begin noticing this difference. This is where mindfulness becomes more than a buzzword. It becomes a lab for self-inquiry. When you sit quietly and observe the mind, you notice. Thoughts appear on their own. Sensations arise and pass. Emotions swell and fade. And in between it all, something remains aware. This pure awareness, untangled from narrative, is the space of waking up. You don't need to stop thinking. You just need to realize you are not the thinker. Chapter 3. Meditation and the direct path. Harris explains that meditation, at its core, is not a religious practice. It is a method of examining consciousness itself. He draws from Dogma, a Tibetan tradition that doesn't ask you to chant or visualize, but to look directly at the mind. Here's the key question. Can you find the one who is thinking? The more you search for a solid self, the more you find it's just process, not a person. This is the essence of what Harris calls the direct path. Instead of years of discipline, the insight is immediate. Look for the self and discover its absence. But this doesn't create emptiness. It opens into peace, clarity, and presence. And for skeptics, this is empowering, because it means you don't need to believe anything. You only need to look closely. Chapter 4. The landscape of spiritual experience. Harris addresses the elephant in the room: mystical experience. Peak states of timelessness, unity, ego loss have been reported for millennia. But are they real, or just brain chemistry? Harris says they're both. Just because an experience arises in the brain doesn't mean it's false. After all, love, joy, all are brain-based, yet meaningful. What matters is how these experiences change you. Do they dissolve the ego? Expand compassion? Reduce fear? Reduce fear? Increase clarity? Jar. The problem isn't mystical experience. The problem is attaching mythology to it, interpreting it through religious filters. Harris offers a radical middle path. Value the experience. Investigate it. But don't turn it into a belief system. Chapter 5, Morality, Meaning, and the Present Moment. So what does waking up offer us? Not just calm or insight, but a new foundation for ethics and meaning. Harris argues, suffering is real. Consciousness is real. Therefore, the reduction of suffering is a real moral good. This doesn't require religion. It requires awareness. When you see that, craving creates suffering. Hatred isolates. Ego inflates pain. You begin to live differently. You become less reactive, more compassionate, more awake. Meaning arises not from belief, but from presence. Right now, in this moment, you can. Observe your mind. See through the illusion of control. Let go of the struggle. And rest in what is. This isn't passive. It's freedom from resistance. Chapter 6. The pathless path. There is no single road to awakening. Some find it through meditation. Others through psychedelics. Others through suffering, insight, silence. Harris respects many methods but insists the destination is clear seeing. You don't become a new person. You simply stop believing in the one who never really existed. And from that clarity, a new kind of life begins. Not perfect. Not mystical. But more honest, aware, and alive. You don't have to believe in anything. You don't have to adopt a new religion. You don't need crystals, robes, or rituals. You just need to look at your mind. Right now, this very moment, thought is happening. But you are not the thought. You are the space it moves through. You are the light of awareness, untouched by its contents. This is the beginning of waking up. Not tomorrow. Not after 10 years. Now. If this opens something in you, subscribe to Real Deep Understanding. Because here, we don't follow beliefs. We explore consciousness itself. Like this, if it gave you a moment of clarity. Comment, what illusion of self or thought are you ready to see through? Share this with someone who's spiritual but skeptical. They'll thank you. You don't need to be someone else. You just need to remember, you are not the story. You are the space the story appears in.